Okay, so the next thing is to deal with the attachments here. So those are part of the character, and I went into Fusion and I created a piece or a 3D printed or a 3D model that replicated basically, I think it was just a piece of wood that was here that had metal or something that held on to the all of the various attachments, because normally this part here just allowed you to wrap the hose around the vacuum cleaner. So this was never intended for the attachments. But I 3D modeled a part, and here it is. Printed it on my Bambu Lab printer, and that part's going to go just like that. It's going to be mounted, so there's put some holes through the bottom here to mount that thing. Then each one of the parts are going to mount onto it. So really the next step here is to mount and finish up the attachments that I have. All right, so the next part to deal with is the head here. And first and foremost, I have to clean this up because this was much more shiny in the movie. So much more like that. So looks like I gotta do some cleaner on it or maybe polish. It's like solid aluminum, so pretty sure it's gonna polish up just fine. So have to do that. Might have to sand it a little bit. We'll see what happens. This piece goes into that hole. Just like that. And I have to connect something inside of it. Spin that on here. So I've modeled a couple pieces. So I am going to use a motor like this connected to this head to spin it. That's the plan. I will use a hub mount to do that as well. So this hub needs to somehow connect to that character right there. And what I created, this 3D part, that will slip right inside of there. And I'm probably going to drill a hole through here to connect this to this. Then this character here will connect just like that. Okay, so that will be connected and that will be connected. So this will now spin the head. Now I just need something somehow to connect the motor to this, because this is going to go inside of here like that. So that leads me to this part right here. This part will get attached to my motor. This guy is going to fit right inside just like that. And the motor will be attached to that. I have 4 holes here to bolt. I'm going to bolt this right onto that piece. And I made myself a drill guide here And the drill guide goes in just like that. This is going to hold the LEDs. It's bolted on right here. Wires will come up through that hole, and all the LEDs will be here in this array somehow. I made more holes than I needed just so it gave me options. What I'm going to try to do first is I'm just going to try to clean it. I'm going to use Mr. Metal Polish. This is aluminum, solid aluminum. You can see it's pretty shiny on the inside. It's just dirty, and this is chromed. We're going to try to get the aluminum to shine up a little bit more like Art Deco's head. I have 000 steel wool. I have 600 grit, 800 grit, and 1000 grit sandpaper. We're going to wait on those, and I have a cotton cloth. So let's do that. We just got the mount for the motor in place. I now have to solder 2 leads onto this. I have a set of pigtails here, and actually right here I have all of the different pigtails that I need for all of these parts or all of these components. The bullet connectors are for the motor. The barrel connector, this particular one, is for the amplifier. This barrel connector here is for this soundboard right here. This is a SparkFun MP3 trigger board. I have these 2 pigtails here that will connect to power. This is the board that was in the robot. So now able to take that out again. And I am going to take these 2 here, and this one of them is going to be connected to this. One of them is going to be connected to this one here through the barrel plug. And I'm going to tie into the 12-volt power right here on the board here. So my distribution board is all 12-volt power. So I'll be plugging those into that. The sound trigger will be triggered by a Pico switch. This is a small switch. This will be plugged into the receiver, and that little board will allow me to pull a trigger on the remote control, and it will play a sound, and it will play random sounds for me. This cable connects this soundboard with the amplifier. These 2 wires here are going to connect the amplifier to the speaker. And I have another 15 amp speed controller for this motor. Barrel plugs, just like these guys. So this is going to be attached here in the stack with those. And like I said, the barrel plug, or the bullet connectors, will be soldered onto that. I think that's everything. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Velcro or connect all these boards onto this panel here and still leave room for the battery. So that's the plan. Let's do that. I'm here at the very end of this build. Last part is to connect the upper part to the lower part, but I had to deal with the sounds. I installed the sound card into the robot. I have an amp inside of there and a speaker. The sounds are going to be played off of this micro SD card, and I had to record all of the sounds from the film that already made throughout the 15 minutes, and kind of broke it up into about 10 different sound groups. I also captured the help me message from the princess, so that's on here as well. And the last step is to really just stick this card into the slot in the sound card and plug in the battery, because the only access to the battery is through the top here. Last things, final touches. This connector here is to the LEDs inside the head, and this connects right to the power distribution board, so it's going to get 12 volts power. And the last thing on there is the bullet connectors for the motors. This will be the first test of everything together. Let's see how it goes. Lights working. Heard the soundboard kick on. We'll get them off the bench here and do a proper test. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. It helps a small channel like mine considerably. And I will see you in the next one.